Hi there, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Support Local podcast. I'm extremely excited today to introduce my guest, Roger Mooking. Roger is a chef and artist. Welcome to the show, Roger.
What's up, man? Pleasure.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you. We got lots to talk about today.
Yeah.
You are a man of many hats, but perhaps we can talk about the hat that you're wearing today. It says Rocklands Market. That's up in Grey County.
Yeah.
You do so many things. It's tough to sort of describe all the things that you do. But artist and chef, I think, are two monikers that are general enough to describe you. But why don't you talk directly to our viewers and let them know who you are and what you're doing, and specifically how it ties back to your work up in Grey County.
You're saying I'm chef and artist, so a chef for many, many years, as you know. I got twisted by Roger Mooking at Pearson Airport. That's been 10 years now. We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year.
Nice.
So that's been really cool. I've done lots of food and beverage over the years, a lot of Food Network and Cooking Channel and all of that over the last 15, 20 years or so. So that's been really cool. And we're continuing to expand the chefing stuff, and we're doing dinners. We do a lot of catering and event dinners. Like we just did a goldfish dinner at the Art Gallery Hamilton. We're doing a dinner in Dalhousie University in Halifax next month. And so I travel around doing like these experiences, And on the art side, it's all about food, visual arts, writing, and bringing those all together. So right now I've got a art gallery exhibit at the Art Gallery of Hamilton. It's a 10-month run. We started last year. It's going till June 1st of this year. And that's called Sound Bites. And that's an exhibit based on the attention deficit of the current humans and not celebrating chaos in an attention deficit world.
Wow.
Right? So it's just purely creative. There's visuals. You can touch the art. There's stories. There's music. So it's very interactive and immersive in a multi-sensory approach thing, right? So, it's really cool, man. It's really cool.
Yes, sounds like you got a hand in everything. But one of the things I really admire about you is your ability to cook over open flame. And so I've, been up to Rocklands with you, and you've toured me around the property, which is amazing. It's up in Berkeley in Grey County. And you must be excited for that now that the snow is starting to melt, because that's going to open up some fun and new opportunities for you this spring and summer.
No, Rocklands is really great, man. It's an event and studio space. So we do like the things you would expect, like weddings and those, it's like landmark events. People call corporate board meetings. They want to have mind management meetings, mind management retreats. We do that type of stuff. We also do social retreats. So financial literacy, culinary retreats, bringing kids from underserviced communities and bring them up to Grey County and teaching them about financial literacy and culinary. And we do wellness retreats. We do historical retreats, all that kind of stuff up there. I shoot my Amazon show. I do a show called Breaking Bread with Roger Mooking, where we take people that you know and love, and we find out what their most compelling meal is as a child growing up, and we cook that together.
Nice. And
then we sit down and we share that meal and we talk about it. So it's a mix between, I call it a podcasty cooking show. It's a mix between a podcast and a dump and stir cooking show, like a cook, like in a garden, cook in the kitchen sort of thing, right? So that's been really, really cool. But yeah, this year we're knocking up a lot of retreats at Rocklands and some we're going to continue this shooting and stuff we're doing as well.
Nice. So continuing on about your work in Grey County, there's something called the Gather campaign.
Yeah.
Can you talk to our viewers about your involvement in that campaign?
Yeah, so I'm the first culinary ambassador of Grey County. And so we've created a campaign with the Economic Development Department of Grey County where we want to tell the stories of how great Grey County is. And for me, I believe that, what drives a culture, aside from the arts, of course, and community events, is food and beverage and agri-tourism, which, as you know, in Grey County is around every corner. There's somebody selling eggs, farm cheese, honey, dairy, sheep, cows, like produce. There's artisans making ceramics and glassware. And so I just want to, help tell the story and leverage some of what I've done in the past with what I'm doing now and tie all those things together and just help tell the story of how amazing Grey County is. And it's all under this Gather umbrella. And we encourage you to savor the taste of community,
I love that. And there's so many reasons why one would want to go and visit Grey County.
Yeah.
But from an agritourism perspective, it's really huge, and I think it's growing. And I think that that concept is really disseminated quite nicely out to folks in bigger cities like Toronto or Kitchener, Waterloo, or even further afield. So it's great that you can focus on agritourism. And I did have a question, kind of a higher level question, something that I ask a lot of our guests, because part of the the premise for this podcast is to understand, how some macroeconomic realities today, like tariffs being placed on Canadian products from the US, are affecting, us at a more hyper local community level. Are you experiencing any effects, or can you speak to that in terms of how these changes economically are affecting your business, be it at Twist at the airport or some of the work that you're doing up in Grey County?
I mean, from a supply chain issue at a place like Twist at the airport, for instance, there's definitely some impacts on supply chain. So we're working to kind of adjust that. With other aspects of my business, the entertainment side, the art side, it's really driving more interest in Canadian artists, Canadian entertainment, holistically inside the country, so building, developing, creating, disseminating, distributing, and telling the stories internally are more important than ever now. And I'm seeing traction along that stuff, right? But it's a little bit trickier because the messaging across border from the entertainment side, we really talk to one another a lot in North America between the US and Canada from the entertainment standpoint. So that's kind of still pressing out,
Right.
But the interest in Canadian, born and bred Canadian, has been good. But in a place like Grey County, where it's really amazing, actually, opportunity for the locals to continue to support the locals. As you know, the locals support I talked to a coffee producer with the Gather campaign from Ashanti Coffee, and he says 80% of his sales, he builds his coffee in Grey County. 80% of his sales happen in Grey County, right? So there's no tariffs.
Right.
He's producing, roasting, packaging, everything in Grey County, selling it to Grey County or selling it to the broader audience in the GTA alone, right? So that sense of hyper localness and avoiding all of these new taxes that are coming down the pipe, basically. Grey County's built for it, and to be able to build and distribute all that stuff. We're the hub. We produce the most apples in Ontario. Most fish in Ontario is farmed in Spring Hills Fish. There's just so much to offer there, so it's great. I'm proud to be gathering around Grey County because this is what we're able to do, this and circumvent all these problems.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful place to live, and it's a wonderful place to visit too. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about how you go about servicing the sort of underprivileged or underserviced youth. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of posts on your social. Looks like you're going out of your way to help support that group. Are those folks coming up from Toronto, essentially?
Yeah, we work with community organizations in the GTA and sponsors, and we build retreats with very specific mandates. And we're bringing up kids from like Western Road, Scarborough, Hamilton, from the arts community, from just the neighborhood community centers and stuff like that. And, a lot of these kids have never left these 3-4 block radius of their neighborhood. You know what I mean? Because they can't. That's what they know. That's what they understand. And also there's not the financial wherewithal to go just roaming about, checking stuff out, right? So they're kind of trapped and stuck into this 3-4 block radius. So imagine they get up on a bus, drive 2 hours, see the country for the first time. They see a person that looks like them, that has like 13 acres of land, is doing stuff for their community. It's inspiring, and I'm really happy to be able to contribute to that. And, a lot of these kids leave our retreats and they like hang out after. They're like, oh man, I met a new network of some cool people. And so for me, it's all about building the community and just strengthening and bolstering the community. And if I could do that through various retreats and giving them new tools and new information to be able to do that, man, it's like, what else can you ask for,
No, it's wonderful. And it's great that you're giving back to the community and trying to build that and expose folks to Grey County, because once exposed, you got to figure they're going to want to come back up and see it again, maybe from a different perspective. And when they're older, they'll probably want to bring their families up too. And who knows? Maybe they'll buy
Maybe
some
that-
acreage and
Yeah.
settle down like you and I have.
Well, what's interesting is for those communities that I'm supporting, like Gray County was the last terminal of the Underground Railroad. So there's a very strong, long history of Black Canadians in the Gray County pocket. Like Mr. Davenport, who, Davenport Road in Toronto, he's a Gray County guy. He used to be the largest contractor in Gray County. So famous, he got a road in Toronto named after him. So a lot of people don't know this in this trajectory. There's the first Black Masonic Lodge in Ontario came right there in Gray County.
Okay, you got to tell me more because I'm a Freemason. I did not know this.
Yeah. So what happened was the Masons would not give them a lodge locally. So the guy who wanted to start the lodge went to the head lodge in the UK and said, "Look, I want to open a lodge for my community. Will you give us the license?" Basically, they're like, "Okay, let's go." So the first Black lodge in Ontario is from Gray County.
No way.
Yes.
I did not know that. That
Yeah,
is fascinating.
So there's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
So when I bring these kids to the community, it's not in a bubble. They're like, "Oh, I belong here." When I went to the Sheffield Museum and I meet with the people who run that museum, the Black History Museum, they're like, "Welcome home, my brother." So that's been significant to kind of connect those pieces and realize, oh wow, maybe there's a life for us in the rural parts of the province.
That's fascinating. Yeah. Well, speaking of secrets, you got to be working on stuff that we don't know about because you've got your hand in many different pies, part in the food pond.
Yeah.
Can you talk about anything that you're working on now?
I don't like to talk. I don't like to talk because I think there's importance in building pressure.
Okay.
Right. So
pressure on you?
No, if you release the pressure from a pressure pot, the thing isn't finished cooking yet. Right. So you got to keep the little knob on the pressure pot so the pressure builds and it finishes cooking. So I'm still cooking a bunch of things.
Interesting. Good metaphor. Yeah. Well, cooking is like life, I suppose, in many respects.
But you try not doing it. See what happens.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. So you've got the restaurant, Twist, catering, events at Rocklands and youth groups, advocating for youth. You've got the art.
Music releasing.
Yeah. How long is your gallery exhibit going on at the Art Gallery?
It's a 10-month run. It ends June 1st, 2025.
Okay.
At the Art Gallery.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very good. And how about the Gather campaign in Gray County? Is that an ongoing thing?
Oh, that's ongoing.
That's great.
Yeah. Those videos are out live. And
I've seen them.
Yeah. We're going to be shooting more videos over the next few years and releasing those over the next. So that's all ongoing. And those videos will live in perpetuity. And the breath and the spirit of the campaign was going to live. You'll see. I'll see.
Yeah, I've seen the videos so far and they're great. And I would expect that come spring and summer that you're going to have a lot more stuff going on and there's going to be a lot more interest. So
there's lots
fantastic.
Going on around that campaign.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Now, if our viewers want to know a bit more about you and how to contact you or just get more information about you or Rocklands or some of the things that you're working on, what's the best way for them to find you?
Yeah, go to rogermooking.com. Mooking.com. Like that's it. Everything is at Roger Mooking. Rocklands Market is rocklandsmarket.com. You start there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. It was really good to have you on the show. And thank you guys all for watching and come back soon and check out the next episode of the Support Local podcast.